Welcome to episode 20 of the All the Stops podcast. Episode 20. I'm going to say that again. Welcome to episode 20 of the All the Stops podcast. There have been 19 up to this point. We made it to 20. That's a big deal. That is a really big deal. I've mentioned it before, but most podcasts that start out don't make it past 3, 4, 5. If you make it to like 8 episodes, you're in like the top single digits % of all new podcasts. And then most of them don't do well or grow. And this one is growing so well. I am blown away. I am so excited. I'm so happy. This is a good chance for me to also say thank you to those of you who've jumped on Patreon for a small fee. You are supporting this show and making it happen, helping me on the back end cover the expenses of all these subscription costs and all the software and all of that kind of stuff. So I appreciate you all very much. Speaking of Patreon, I just put up some bonus content, long promised, and it's kind of story time about some interesting experiences over the years as an organist. This one, I'm calling it More of the Stops. I don't think that name is going to stick, but, I'm spitballing here. Send in your thoughts. Anyway, some really interesting ones. This week I shared some of my embarrassing experiences as an organist, and one really unbelievable thing that happened to me playing the wrong introduction to a hymn, and then people came in and it worked out somehow. Anyway, if you're interested in that, go over to All the Stops on Patreon and support us if you have the flexibility. All right, today's guest is an incredible one, Seyi James Ayinde. He goes by GenZ Organist on social media, but he is a Nigerian GenZ organist, and he is a fascinating guy. Nigeria currently is one of the biggest countries in the world. It's growing at an incredible rate. It will pass the United States in size in my lifetime. There's incredible growth, but the organ scene there has been lagging in some ways. He knows it from the inside. He's sharing it. He has huge hopes and dreams. He's a very innovative guy, and our conversation was fascinating. I learned so much about Nigeria, about the music landscape there, and sort of how the new generation is thinking about it. I think you're going to love this episode. And so I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to have us bump along and go to hear about the organ in Nigeria with Seyi, the GenZ Organist. Mr. GenZ Organist himself, how are you doing this fine afternoon?
I am fine. I'm very, very fine. Thank you.
Very good. I know you've had a very long day, and I've had a very short day. I've had enough coffee where I think our episode will be nice and flowing and natural, and hopefully you've got the energy after your long day to do a little chat with us. Thanks for being here on the program.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm ready, and I think I'm ready to shoot.
Seyi, I want to start by just hearing a little bit about you. First of all, online, you're called GenZ Organist, so we already know your age bracket. As a sort of a young person, studying the organ, playing in church, and very creative online, doing a really, really cool project. It's called Organ Odyssey is what you have created. Would you just tell people a little bit about what you do on social media and how you got into it?
Okay. I'll say, my full name is Seyi James Ayinde. From Oyo State here in Nigeria, and I got into organ music through my dad. Fine, he got into the organ music very late. He was already married to my mom before going in, and he started teaching me and lecturing me how to play the piano back home. Then I was about 10 or 11 because I was in junior secondary school 1, GS1. Back then, I was learning with um, Williams Smallwood piano forte tutor. And it was busy, but I would say maybe it's the passion is in me already. So I was learning myself. Will come home during the weekend, and he would listen to me play whatever I've learned during the week and correct me and everything. Then he always tell me that if I'm done with my secondary school, which should be high school at your side, and I cannot play the piano, he said I won't be able to play it again. That is, and I'm like, I need to
That's not going to
work.
work for me.
Yeah. So, and after my secondary school, I told him I want to study music, and he was really happy. And before then, there's no any other formal learning of music, because back in school, there's no music in school. I only learn in church and at home through him. And I went to school to study music in Lagos State University, Lagos. It was nice. There's no organ. It was piano all through. I was piano major, voice minor. So I used to sing and play the piano. But the organ
Yeah.
learning exactly is in the church, because my home church has an organ. We have a Rogers organ, a three manual Rogers organ. And the little they will allow me to play, the little just play during the week service was what I was using to learn. I don't have any organ teacher. Even till now, I would say I don't have any formal organ teacher, but I was learning online, reading books in school and everything. And my journey about being a content creator of the organ now. I got to Abuja playing in a church, and I'm like, the way I play in church, I sound different from my organist, because I'm the assistant organist. And I have
Okay.
this little spice of being a young organist there, because
Okay.
I
All
could
right.
spontaneously, do some things during the service. And they used to say, "Oh, see this Gen Z, see this Gen Z organist and all." So I, I
Okay.
took the name, and I created a TikTok account, but the name has not been before the TikTok account. So I derived the name after, when I started creating content, and I started creating content last year, like steadily last year, after my birthday, because I want to do an organ concert. And because I understand, if I actually want to go into the organ music here in Nigeria, in Abuja, there's no any organ concert or any organ recital anywhere that I can perform.
Hmm.
And I cannot just say
Okay.
I'm rehearsing, rehearsing, rehearsing. There's no platform for me to perform all what I've been rehearsing. So I decided to create a platform for myself to make myself rehearse and prepare for a concert. So I have a concert coming up, and I'm just 2 years old in Abuja, and I'm like less than 6 months old in my church. How will I get people to come watch my concerts? Then I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, let me start posting. And I started posting last year, and making publication for my concert last year, the first edition. And it was amazing the way people received me online. And I feel I was able to connect more with people around my age. Then I decided to say, okay, I'm Gen Z Organist, guys. This is a day in the life of a Gen Z Organist. Let's go. And here we are. It has been fine all through. I've met so many people online. I've met so other organists, and meeting you too is a lot for me. And yeah, that is
Well,
it.
that's that's just fabulous. I mean, what a story. I want to ask you so many things. So let me just think how we want to start this. I think my first question is, you learned of organ from the internet. You learned how to play it. You studied it on the internet, and then you put yourself back onto the internet. Like, the internet has been this big kind of connective thing. So I
Yes.
should probably ask you this at the end, but like, what is your dream? Like, what do you want to use the internet to do? Best case scenario, what is Gen Z Organist looking like in 5 years?
Oh wow, it's big, because I understand the power of
I
internet.
know.
And I understand the way organ music is in my country. Is not that is not like the major music. So I want to have like an organ um um production company of my own where I can produce organ music, my organ music, and other organists can be under the record label, possibly if it's record label.
Cool.
And because I want to produce my own music, my own organ music.
Huh.
I I am of that school of thought that is a lot for me learning Western classical music here in Nigeria. I'm not used to the culture. I'm not fully used to the music, and it's not easy putting myself into the music. So I'm creating my own. It takes average African like months to play a back um piece because I'm feeling is not our tradition and it's the Western tradition, so it's not really easy. And it's like, what is the backbone of classical music is the Western classical music. But I feel we've gotten to the stage where we can actually create music, and I feel it's subjective. I have created some music in the past, but they are not for organ back in school. But now I'm trying to learn how to compose for organ and perform my music and produce my music and release the music piece out for people to also play and listen. So I think in 5 years' time, I'll not just be an organist, I'll be a composer.
Yeah.
So
Oh
yeah.
wow. So big. I mean, I knew when I asked that question, I was going to hear big scale stuff because I've watched you now for months grow and grow your platform and extend the kind of stuff you're doing. I've seen you be really creative with kind of marketing it and pushing things, but I knew you were going to take it to a place. And it sounds to me like you're going to try to set up a system where you can help be the backbone of training people, of building interest,
Yes.
of drawing people in. Is
Yes.
Organ Odyssey is explain that branding that you use. What does that
Okay.
encompass?
Organ Odyssey is like organ journey, like Odyssey is journey, and
Hmm.
is documenting my journey and other young organist journey, be it here in Nigeria, be it outside the country, because this Organ Odyssey International is registered here in Nigeria already, and is a platform where people can come to learn organ at the long run. People can come to be under the brand to push them to the public. You want to host a concert, an organ concert, you can come to us. We can help you build the publicity for it, because you don't just want to be playing to empty shares and everything. And I want it to be a platform where young organists can easily reach out to learn, to grow, and also to push their music if they actually want to um, have their own personal music and teach them how to make their own music in future. Because at the long run, the only way you can, because I believe the only way you can be recognized in the music industry or not forgotten is not playing other people's work, it's playing your own work. And if you are a performer and you can't perform your work, I don't think you've understand music to the stage where um, it resonates with you. Because you should be able to play your own music to people and let them listen to music from your own perspective. That's just it.
I love it. We have so much more to talk about. We're going to take our first break, so don't go away. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Ortloff Organ Company. With instruments from coast to coast, Ortloff Organ Company has gained a strong national reputation for new pipe organs built with meticulous attention to detail, placing the accompaniment of singing first and foremost. Based in Greater Boston, Massachusetts, their thoughtful restoration work, specifically of Skinner and Wurlitzer organs, has also gained high praise. Visit ortlofforgan.com to see their current, past, and upcoming work, and following them on Facebook and Instagram for frequent updates on what's happening in the shop. ortlofforgan.com. Today's episode is brought to you in part by today's episode, the All the Stops podcast on Patreon, where you can go on for a small subscription fee, get an ad-free version of the show, as well as some bonus content coming soon, and support the back-end costs of making this show possible. If you love what we do here, we would love it if you would consider throwing a couple of bucks our way and supporting these great conversations about the pipe organ and how it works and who plays it and all that good stuff. If you're listening, you know why you're listening. Anyway, patreon.com/allthestopsmedia. Throw a couple bucks our way. It would help a lot. Thank you for listening to the show, and thanks for supporting what we're doing. So you are from the Lagos area, down near the
Yes.
coast, and then you went to Abuja, which I was looking on the map. I mean, it's a really, really, really long ways away. Had you traveled there much growing up as a kid to the capital?
No. The first time I came to Abuja was 3 years ago for
Okay.
my NYC service. I've never
Okay.
been there.
And Abuja is a huge city. I mean, millions and millions and millions of people, massive city. What is let's just talk a little bit about the organ world, so to speak. What kind of church and organ stuff are you going to expect to find in Lagos versus in Abuja? What are the churches like?
Hmm.
How many churches are using pipe organ, would you say?
Hmm. In Lagos, organ music is much more stronger than Abuja here. And in Lagos, we have so many churches that has the organ. We have the pipe organ, then we have digital organ in Lagos. And there's so many very good and fantastic organists in Lagos. And Lagos can push you to work. There are organ schools like um, what is the name? Muson Center, Music Society of Nigeria. You can learn. You can have a diploma in organ there in Muson. And but here in Abuja is like the northern part of Nigeria, and organ music is not as strong here, and we have I would say we can count the churches that has organ here in Abuja. We can actually count them, and the
Really? Why
organ.
why is that? Why do you think it's so much less in the capital city, which I think is bigger than Lagos, right?
Yeah, Lagos is big. I would say it's not big like land size, but it has the most um um population.
Oh, is it really? Does it have a bigger population than Abuja?
Yes, it has a bigger
Wow, okay.
population because it's
Wow.
like the business center of the country.
I
People
see.
come to Lagos for business, but when you're coming
Okay.
for the government's politics and
Sure.
whatever, is in Abuja. So
Okay.
Abuja is not like a business area where you have so many people doing business, people traveling
Sure.
here for
Okay.
business and everything. But Lagos is yeah, so many people are there and people are coming in, coming out. So and when they are trying to introduce church music, it came down to Lagos, and we have like the first um organ in the country around the west, and also Lagos also is part of it. Before we have churches coming up in Abuja, it takes a while before it
Okay.
started here in Abuja. But Lagos was like the first to have organ.
So you play at an Anglican church in Abuja, and that's the
Yes, I
one that
play
we
in an
often
Anglican
see.
church.
We often see
Yes.
that in your videos, and to me, from my eye, it looks like it is packed. It looks like tons of people are there. The singing is robust. Everyone's wearing
Yeah.
cassock and surplice, and it looks like just a huge sound when you play hymns. Everyone's singing and singing and singing. Like, is that typical of a church you would have played in back home?
Yes, in Lagos it's even much more beautiful, I would say. Yeah, but people
Ooh.
don't just create content about it. I don't know. But
Huh.
churches in Abuja are beautiful. But Lagos, I feel we have much more beautiful churches in Lagos and beautiful
Oh,
organ.
shots fired. Oh, Lagos has the better churches, huh?
I've stayed in Lagos over 20 years and I seriously
Yeah,
know what I'm
okay.
saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So Abuja, my church directly, I'll say, is where you can actually see the most beautiful music in
Yeah,
Abuja,
I'd say.
like in the yeah, because we have the good organist, we have good choir master in my
Okay.
church. So, but other churches in Abuja are really, really trying and really good. But Lagos, if you want to learn music, go to Lagos.
That's the spot. Okay.
That is why so
Wow.
many people say Sheyi sound different in Abuja because he learnt organ in Lagos. That is why. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I
All
learned the
right.
organ music in Lagos. So yeah, Lagos
Okay. I see how
is
it is.
strong.
Tell us a little bit about because obviously a lot of people listening to this podcast are like maybe are organists or either play or are enthusiasts. But tell us about the pipe organs and the electric organs. You said you've got a Rogers at your church. What kind of
Yeah.
pipe organs might you see typically around Nigeria?
Yeah, we have more of digital organs than pipe organs. And we could easily count the churches that have working pipe organ currently in the in the country. But we have more digital organs. And the Rogers organ we have in my home church is a three-manual digital organ. We use speakers to to get our sounds. And in my church here too in Abuja currently is a digital organ. We use organ speakers to project the sounds. And personally, I've not played a real pipe organ. I've had access to seeing it, and I've not had access playing them. I feel I will very soon when I get back to Lagos because I can see there's pipe organ in Lagos. Um, all Marina, there's a cathedral church in Marina. It's like one of the first church that has the organ, a pipe organ in Nigeria. So we will try to go there to play
Oh,
their pipe organ.
you've got to go make videos and show everybody all about it and play your stuff there. That'll be
Seriously, and we
amazing.
have other people playing there, but one thing they don't understand that they should talk about the organ. I think in my own little way I've talked about our organ is a Vicant Unico 500, and it's a little. I know it's small, but I think I drive it the way people think is big. The way I drive the organ and play it, people think is a very massive instrument, but for me, I know it's small, but there are other organs in Abuja that are bigger than church organ. We have the Cathedral Church using a Unico 800, a Vicon Unico 800, and other organs using there are some other churches using Allen organ, and Allen organ I feel is better than the Vicon. So yeah, it is.
Wow. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting. So, anecdotally, I have a lot of people who write me messages on TikTok who are from West Africa, most of them from Nigeria. And a lot of these guys are interested in building Hauptwerk systems or they've been seeing online content. I assume some of them have been seeing your stuff and they want to learn and they want to figure out how do I get better at the organ? How do I build a system for myself? I'm trying to make this happen. And what I'm sensing anecdotally is like a growing passion and a growing interest. I mean, it's certainly in sacred music and in the organ as a whole. I think it's pretty clear like you're a pioneer. You're on the ground floor of this new way of thinking about music, of this new way of showcasing the organ
Mm,
and blending it with
yeah.
church. So I'm really excited to see what you keep doing. I mean, Nigeria is nothing but a story of growth. I have a good friend who was a U.S. diplomat, and sort of chatting with her, like the growth is incredible. Like by the end of this century, Nigeria is going to be one of the biggest countries in the whole world. Um,
Amen. Nice.
like it's and there is a huge story of development that is crossing the world. Everybody knows about it, and it's so cool to think that in the midst of this growth that people like you are going to bring the organ into that international growth and kind of as they say, the rising tide raises all ships. And I just think that's such a neat thing. Thanks for all that you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nigerian organ music need more visibility. Even some people on my page feels they've not seen this instrument before. Where is this? That. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So many people don't know that the organ exists in the country. Even and they're in Nigeria, they don't know that we have organ in Nigeria. They think it's only in the US, UK, Germany. They can see those kind of instruments, but we have it here in the country. But it's because I feel our ancestors, which are our mentors here in Nigeria, did not use the internet to push the organ music
I see.
that I feel. And the only videos we could actually watch on YouTube, on Facebook, videos from the Western organists playing the organ, and they'll be like, "Wow, wow, wow!" So we learn from you guys a lot by watching your videos. That is
Well,
it.
and people can learn a lot from you now by watching the way that you're pushing and publicizing this stuff and doing all that. We're going to take our last break. We got so much more to talk about, so don't go away.
You know, Anitra, they say the organ is the king of instruments.
They do. And given that the king of instruments is the inspiration for all the stops media, maybe this podcast network is the king of networks.
It's possible. What I do know is that people who like organ or church music or classical music or whatever they're currently listening to on this network are pretty smart people.
Yep, but smart people don't know everything. And that's why it's helpful that people like us make podcasts to talk about the things we know a lot about. Because we know smart people are smart, so we can help them be smart about more things. In our case, board games.
You got it. We're Andrew and Anitra, married parents of 3, and for 10 years we've been talking about playing games with our kids and encouraging you to play games with the kids in your lives. And don't worry, even if you don't know what games are out there, it's more than just Monopoly.
Almost 2,000 games come out every year.
We're here to tell you all about it.
Because we know smart people like organs, but they also probably like board games.
You can find the Family Gamers podcast wherever fine podcasts are sold.
And all over social media at Family Gamers AA.
So we'll see you there, and play games with your kids.
In the break, we were talking about context. We were talking about what people are familiar with. And when you think about young people looking at the organ as an instrument, when I was a kid, I've talked about this before on the podcast, but there was this sense that the organ was dying and oh my goodness, and this is it, and you have to save the organ, they'd say to the young people, like, it's all on your shoulders, you have to do it. If you don't do it, that's going to be it. And of course, now that we look back, we say, like, oh no, things are really roaring back and going really, really well, actually, for the organ. But we didn't know it at the time because it's all the perception that's there. And you were talking a little bit about how young people might think about organ in Nigeria and might think, oh, there's no way for me to make money at the moment. It's probably just in church and I could spend all this time and no one would be listening to me really. And is it worth it? And you have some encouraging thoughts actually that are pretty hopeful that you'd want to share. And I wanted to ask you to share a few of those.
Yeah, fine. The young people here in Nigeria see organ as the old-fashioned instrument, or not? Yeah, maybe. But and it's seriously not encouraging when as an organist in the country playing an instrument worth millions, and you playing it receive stipend as maybe working for the Lord, and they will just encourage you. Oh, you're doing well. You're doing well. the same,
Yeah.
the same money they were giving your so-called mentors back in the day, so many like about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, is like the same money you are receiving 20 years later down the line. and you want to repeat the same thing when you see the people you are trying to say, oh, I'm looking up to this person, and you see the person's life, and you realize this person is actually not making anything from organ music, is making money outside organ music, maybe working as a government worker or working in a private sector and making money there. And you, like me, studied music. There's nothing else I might say I want to do. I can't go and be looking for job in a petroleum or a bank, and I'm earning money there. So this music I'm doing full time. How do I actually convert my talent to money at the long run? Because the situation of the country when it comes to money is really high, and the minimum wage is really low. And before you see churches that even pay organists more than the minimum wage for monthly salary is really rare.
Wow.
And you are playing an organ over 50 million, over 100 million naira, and you are earning way low below the minimum wage. So how do you intend surviving with that? And I've seen people come to my comment section saying, ah, I've not seen an organist that is a millionaire. Obviously, personally, I've not seen too. And me, I'm at the edge of breaking that yoke and letting them understand that, yeah, we can be rich. And how can we be rich? I feel everyone needs to understand that the world now is digitalized, and you can put yourself out there. You can play your music and put them online. So many people now don't like coming to physical concerts to listen, but they can easily be on their phone, watching videos from morning till night and
Hmm.
supporting other people and everything. And because of monetization these days now, we could also earn from monetization. Fine, monetization in Nigeria is not as easy as it is there. Our TikTok is not monetized. And we go to Facebook, we can be monetized, but it takes a lot of dedication and steps for it to be
Yep.
monetized. And you earn in dollars before converting it to our currency is another thing. But we understand that. But one thing I understand is there's nobody that can actually perform a music more than the composer. I've seen gospel music in our country is not like this before, but now it's like up there. People are earning from it, even singing in church, you get paid well and everything. And I feel the reason is they are not singing other people's song, they are singing their composed
Mm.
song. You are more
Music.
appreciated when you perform your songs. I don't think anyone will pay you to come and perform someone else's song when there are other people that can actually perform that song, and this person might be willing to collect 100,000 naira, and you are saying you want to collect 1 million naira. Who will they go for? They'll go with the person that wants to col- um collect 100,000 naira to perform that same song. It's not your song, so why are you collecting
Yeah.
1 million naira? You understand? So, and I feel other artists, even be it in the Afrobeat, be it in the hip hop, be it in the R&B and everything, they are appreciated because they are performing their song. If
Right.
they are performing other people's song, like doing a remix on other people's song and whatnot, they won't be appreciated this way, and they won't be
Right.
making the kind of money they are making. I feel we
Right.
need to understand that at the long run, when you've gotten to a certain level of professionalism on the instrument, try building your own music, try composing your own music, push
Sure.
your music out more than you push other. Back has the most popularity that it doesn't even need. Back doesn't need you to popularize him anymore. He's there. Andel doesn't need you to play his music before he's known. He's there for centuries now.
Yeah.
Thousands, millions of organists have played his work.
Yeah.
If you play it, fine. If you do not play it, fine. His name is there. There's no way I will play back, or I'll play the new composers, and or new composers that is from 18 something to 19 something, that they'll remember the name of the person performing it. No,
Mm,
they only remember the name of the composer of the music.
yeah.
And most of this music now, even if you play them and publish them on social media, they're already copyrighted. Most of
Yeah,
the hymns
right.
I'm
And they
playing
get,
are,
yeah,
and you're not the one getting the commission. They are getting the commission. You
yeah.
understand what I'm trying to say? They
I
are already
know, and
copyrighted.
yeah, I would say that is something that I have gleaned from your content, is that you have an entrepreneurial spirit. Like, you're working on a project, you're doing this thing, and you know you're going to have your own voice, and you're going to say the things that you want to say. And I think that's really smart. But I the other thing I want to say is I'm gleaning it a little bit, but I think you're already starting to think internationally. Like, you're gonna
Yes,
you're the hub of what you're doing here, but it's gonna go out there. I mean, you mentioned, monetizing in other currencies and things like that, which are smart techniques. But you also mentioned Afro beats, and we're coming off of a huge explosion of Afro beats influencing pop music all around the world, to the point where you
all
had,
around the world. Yeah,
right, 2023, 24, 25, you had, Swedish producers using Afro beats for all of their stuff. You had it in clubs in
yes,
Italy, in the United States, in California, all over the world. And that's a thing that just originates in Africa and
yeah,
heads out into the world. And so we've seen that in music, people already have a hunger for new sounds and for different things. And so
yes,
I feel certain that
yeah,
you're going to find your way, and you're going to keep doing it, to put your,
yes,
not just your original music, but also your own spin on things, right?
yes, by God's grace. It's not
Yeah.
going to be easy, I know, but
No.
and a lot of people are going to still, fight, saying, why is he composing? Why should we listen to his music? Some of my boss, my mentors, they might not have their music, but they believe in playing um people's work, and I understand that it takes you having um a different understanding or different approach to music before you say you want to actually say you want to compose. That is it. And there are different eras in the classical music, and I feel it's because of this a massive shift in thinking of how music should go. That is why we are having new eras. If not, we will have had the same eras till date. But it's because people are thinking differently. That is why we are having new eras till this point. And music needs to evolve. That is it. If it's not evolving, if you are playing the same thing for over 100 years, then there's no growth. There's no
Yeah.
growth. Afrobeat was not like this 10 years ago.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And so here's the thing. We'll say it right now, today in June. We'll say, in 10 years, the Nigerian sacred music space is not going to be the same. Right?
It's not going to be the same.
You're
We're
going to
changing
change
the
it.
narrative.
You're
Yes,
going to change the narrative. You're going to share it with people. You're going to build up knowledge about this. You're going to keep sharing it, and I know your
yeah,
stuff is going to be really, really successful. So, Gen Z
by God's
Organist, where can
grace.
people find you on social media?
Yes, on TikTok, I am Gen Z underscore Ognis. I think so. And on Facebook, I am Seyi James Ayinde, in bracket Gen Z Ognis also. And I feel if you type Gen Z Ognis, you still see me on Facebook. On Instagram, I am Gen Z underscore Ognis also. Then on YouTube, I am Organ Odyssey. Yes, because that is a bigger platform for pushing Gen Z Organist music. Organ Odyssey
Great.
is a production company pushing Gen Z Organist music. So by the time my music are going to be coming out this year, um, my concert next month, July 18th. I'm going to be performing some organ arrangement I've done for AIMS. So I feel
Okay.
that is what I'm using to start before having an original of my own. I'm doing an arrangement and improvisation or variation on some AIMS. So I'll be performing them on my concert, and they will be out after the concert, and even the music piece.
Okay. Well, Shay, I'm sorry I can't book a ticket and come hear you, but you got to post a lot of videos about it, okay?
Sure, you know me.
That's good. Shay, thank you so much for all your time today. It was a fabulous discussion. I know people are going to love this conversation. So I'm betting we're going to have you come back again next year. So
Thank you so
keep
much.
doing what
Thank
you're
you so
doing,
much.
keep spreading the word, keep evolving and shifting and changing the instrument and growing it there. Bless you
Yeah,
and all the best to you.
thank you so much. I'm really, really glad Wesley, my mentor. I know you might not have mentored me like same, but I watch your videos a lot, and I've learned some things to improve my own the making of my videos also. Because it's because of you I started like talking to my camera while also making the organ videos. Because before, so many people I used to see just play and leave without saying a word.
Sure.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
I'm talking to the camera before playing.
Your personality is big part of it, Shay. Like you are telling people and showing them the organ and showing them the stuff you're creating, and you do it really, really well. You do it really well.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for saying that.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much.
Shay, keep it up. Thanks for being on the show today, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah. God bless you.
All the Stops podcast is a product and trademark of All the Stops Media LLC and is recorded and produced by me, Wesley Hall. The music is written and recorded by me too. Copyright 2026, all rights reserved. Thanks for listening.